What's up, Titans? Hopefully you're having an awesome weekend. We're going to go ahead and cover Chapter 5, Section 4. That is the Slope-Intercept Form, so make sure you put a header on these notes. That's Chapter 5, Section 4, the Slope-Intercept Form. And basically our objectives today, remember you don't have to write these down, are to define and explain what makes up slope-intercept form of a linear equation, and to use the slope-intercept form of a linear equation. So let's jump right into it here. So far, we've learned to graph lines by basically only creating a table of values. We created our x. Let's see if we got it going here. Here we go. We created our x, y chart. We had some x's and some y's, and we created that table of values. We plotted those points, put them on a line. Well, today we're going to learn another way, which is the slope-intercept form. You're going to love it. Here we go. First thing, what are intercepts? And intercepts, basically the graphical concept of an x and y intercept, it's pretty simple. And you're going to really enjoy this. The x-intercept, make sure you write this down. The x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. Yes, crazy. X-intercept, where it crosses the x-axis. So then if we have an x-intercept, we also have a y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the, you guessed it, y-axis. So make sure you get those two things written down. If you got to pause, probably do, write down those. X-intercept, graph crosses the x-axis. Y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. So if I was to graph a line here, my x-axis is down here. This point right here would be the x-intercept. And this point over here would be the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. Alright, those are your x and y intercepts. So, as we move on here and we talk about the y-intercept, it's the point where a line crosses the y-axis. We just wrote that down. At this point, the value of x is 0. Maybe another good thing to write down right here. To find the y-intercept, plug 0 in for x. To find the y-intercept, plug 0 in for x in the linear equation and solve for y. So our example down here is y equals 3x minus 5. To find that y-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for x. And I get y equals negative 5. That ends up being my point, 0, negative 5. And you'll notice down here on this red line right there, that red line kind of going right through here, you'll notice that the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, is at 0, negative 5, that point right there. That is the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, plug in 0 for x. Moving on. This is slope-intercept form of equation. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Get that written down. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We've kind of talked about this a little bit before. We've kind of hinted around at it, but now we're going to dive in and actually use it. So what is the m? The m is the slope. The b is the y-intercept. That's what they stand for. M is slope, b is y-intercept. So make sure, somewhere you have written down m equals slope, b equals y-intercept. I would get this just right here, what is written down on this slide, down in your notes. Alright. Now, another thing you want to make sure you get written down in your notes, we're going to definitely check for this on those notes on Monday, is the steps to graphing equations in slope-intercept form. So if you got to pause, definitely write these down. All 4 steps are very, very important. And then we'll go through them here. Step 1 is to write the equation in slope-intercept form by isolating y. Basically, get y by itself. Make it y equals, and then mx plus b. Step 2, find the y-intercept. That's b. and use it to plot the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Step 3, find the slope and use it to plot a second point on the line. Remember, the slope is m. And then step 4, draw a line through those 2 points. Okay, these are our 4 steps. Very, very important. So let's go ahead and do an example. Remember, y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So let's look here. Our example, y equals 3x minus 6. The example, y equals 3x minus 6. Well, based on this, that means that m is 3, or my slope is 3. And that means that b is negative 6, or my y-intercept. So m is 3, b is negative 6. So how do I do that? First thing I want to do is to plot 0, negative 6. That is the point I want to put on there. So I go to 0, negative 6 on my graph. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make a point. There's my y-intercept. Now the slope is 3, so I go up 3 and over 1. Because anytime we get slope, if it's just 3, that's like 3 over 1. 3 over 1. Got my 2 points. What can I do between those 2 points then? The last step was to draw a line through them. And there is my line of y equals 3x minus 6. Y equals 3x minus 6. Graphed right there. Got to pause, rewind, go ahead, look at it again. Alright, here's a couple little practice. Identify the slope and y-intercept. Well, let's look at a few of these. Y equals 6x plus 4. My m on this one would be the 6, and my b would be the 4. M is slope, b is 4. Let's look at b. M is 3, b is negative 7. M is slope, b is y-intercept. Now go ahead, pause, see if you can answer these last 4 on your own. Alright, let's come back here. On C, m is 2, b is negative 9. On D, if there's nothing in front of the x, then we say m is a 1. And we say b, if there's nothing there that's added or subtracted, we say it's like 0. So that's kind of like y equals 1x plus 0. If nothing's added, it's a 0. If nothing's in front of the x, it's a 1. So on E, we should have gotten 1. For M, let me erase that. And for B, we get 5. Now on F, we get m equals the number in front of x. It's the slope, negative 1/4. So it's going down. And b equals 4. Okay, y equals mx plus b. Very important. Y equals mx plus b. Alright. Let's go move on here. Talking about the last kind of main idea here is horizontal and vertical lines. Very, very important. Make sure you got this written down. A horizontal line comes from any equation in the form y equals a number. So any number. A horizontal line comes from any equation in the form y equals. So like y equals 2. Y equals negative 3. Y equals 7. Y equals negative 10. Those are all horizontal lines. Remember, they have a slope of 0. And then vertical lines, make sure you get this written down. Vertical line comes from any equation in the form of x equals. So for example, you might get like x equals 2, x equals negative 2, x equals 100, or x equals negative 7. Okay, anything that just x equals is going to be a vertical line with a slope of undefined. Last thing, just to note, something smart to know, if you have x and y in the equation, then the line will have some type of slant to it. That'll be our slope. Okay, so if you have x and y it'll have some type of slant. If just one variable's in it, then it'll either be horizontal or vertical. One variable, just horizontal or vertical. Okay? Good stuff right there. As a grand finale here this evening or this afternoon, whenever you're watching this, see if you can answer these 5 problems with matching each equation with the appropriate description. So go ahead and pause this and see if you can match 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with the correct A, B, C, D, and E. And then come back to class, ready to do some practice with this on Monday. Hopefully your weekend goes awesome. Go Titans!